Myers. Welcome back to a brand new live stream. Um, you guys know, man, today is the 16th year anniversary to Rob Zombie's Halloween remake, the 2007 remake. So I decided, man, just to do a little discussion, a little, revisit this movie. Actually, I'm not sure if I'll be rewatching it today. I usually watch movies, rewatch them, whenever the anniversaries. But I recently rewatched this movie. Probably I would say about a week or two ago. So I'm not sure if I'll rewatch it. I probably will. If I have some time on my hands later on, I'll probably end up watching this film. But yeah, man, it's been 16 years since Rob Zombie came out with his Halloween remake. This is the unrated director's cut. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to revisit the movie, talk about it. Like I said, I know it's not really, one of the best in the franchise, but I will say, from what I've seen at least, it's definitely one that's grown on people throughout the years. For example, me personally, I could speak from my experience. I didn't really like this movie at first. You guys know reboots are not really my thing. Um, I never considered it like a terrible remake. There's way more worst remakes out there for sure. Um, but it just had a lot of issues, and still to this day I don't really like certain stuff about this movie, which we'll get into. We'll probably, I'm gonna give you guys some positives I like about the movie, and then some negatives. But shout out to all of you guys, man, who are in the chat. I seen you guys. Pornstar JR, what's up, man? Shout out to you guys. Mary Braven, Joseph the horror guy, Machete Slasher, what's up, yo? Hope you guys are doing pretty good, man. Having a dope Thursday. It's Thursday, right? Yeah. But yeah, man, just chilling. Like I said, today's the anniversary, and just the other day, the last day I went live, which was like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, it was the anniversary to Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. If I would have known, because I didn't find out till that same day. If I would have known, I would have done like a revisit video like the one I'm doing now, because Halloween 2 is an interesting movie. The Rob Zombie Halloween movies, let me tell you guys, are really interesting. Like I said, they're weird in their own way. They have mistakes. For example, it doesn't really feel like that you could say it doesn't feel like the original series, for sure not. And at the same time, I'm kind of glad it doesn't. Like, that's one thing. Like I said, I always give my respects to Rob Zombie, even though the movie might not be the greatest, but he did his own thing, and that's what I really appreciate, at least from this movie. Don't get me wrong, it's like the same storyline. It follows along, the same storyline as the original John Carpenter's 1978 movie. Same characters and everything, but of course, Rob Zombie added his twist on there to it. So he did, tweak a few things here and there, made it, his style. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's grown on people. It's definitely grown on me. Like I said, in the beginning, I never really liked this movie. But yeah, it's a decent, it's a solid remake. It's kind of 50-50 for me. But yeah, man, thank you, Joseph. Appreciate you being here, man. Taking the time to hang out, man. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. Yeah, couldn't find a Myers shirt. Like, I just threw on the Jason shirt. I couldn't find like I had to dig more deeper. But yeah, I threw on a Jason shirt. But hey, I got the Myers hat. I even took out the Rob Zombie mask. Like I said, this is the Fun World mask, and then the clown, young Michael Myers clown mask. So hell yeah, man. Like I said, 16 years ago today, the remake was released in theaters August 31st. And like I said, man, I think it's definitely, like I said, there's worse remakes out there. For a remake, it's solid. As a movie, like I said, it does have a few issues here and there. Like, a lot of people kind of consider this, like, of course, Rob Zombie, his style. If you guys take a look at his, excuse me, if you guys take a look at his previous movies, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, which are pretty good movies. Don't get me wrong, I really like those movies, so I think I'm a fan of his work. But honestly, in reality, I don't think Rob Zombie was the perfect director, the right choice for to take on a Halloween remake. Of course, his style is something different. Like, of course, it would make sense if Rob Zombie would have done like a remake to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because that's more of his style. Um, the goriness, the hardcore goreness level in his movies, which is good. I think those movies like Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, I think that's the point of those movies. I think that's what makes those movies pretty good. It's just to have a fun time with the kills, the goreness. But like I said, it wasn't as fitting to a Halloween movie. But like I said, as a fresh director, as a different director, like I said, with a different style to step into something completely different, it worked. Like I said, this movie, like if you guys are familiar with Rob Zombie's work, when you watch this movie, you right away feel like you're in a Rob Zombie movie. Um, of course, we got Tyler Mane who plays Michael Myers, which I think he did a pretty good job. For sure. He's not my favorite, not one of my favorite actors who played him, but he definitely played a more intimidating, a more huge, more of a sinister Michael Myers, more than the original. Which also kind of added to it kind of it upped the ante, if you know what I mean. Um, and yeah, and like I said, there's goods and positives about this movie. I mean, we'll start off with positives. We'll definitely start with some positives. But you guys on the live chat, make sure you guys comment down below, man. What do you guys think about the remake? Like I said, it's not the greatest film. It's definitely not the greatest remake neither. There's better ones, but there's worse ones too. And like I said, man, just throughout the years, always rewatching. That's one thing too. Rob Zombie, his movies, you could say, kind of stand out for me. From, like, for example, the Blumhouse series. I rather rewatch. They're more rewatchable to me. The Rob Zombie movies, probably because they're films that I grew up with. So obviously, just that fact alone, I'm always gonna have these Rob Zombie films are always gonna fall somewhere deep into me, because like I said, I grew up with them, so they will always be like rewatchable and fun for me. So yeah, but like I said, there's positives to this movie. Like I said, Rob Zombie added his own twist, his own style to the movie. Like we just mentioned, Tyler Mane, I think he did a pretty good job, man, as Michael Myers. The cast, I thought the cast was pretty decent at first. First of all, let's start off with for example, Dr. Loomis, who is played by Malcolm McDowell. I think he's probably to me personally, he's probably the better performances in the movie. I know it was I'm pretty sure it was challenging to step into Donald Pleasant's shoes, and not really, because like I said, I kind of consider them its own thing. Like I said, Malcolm McDowell is definitely a horror legend. He's been Clockwork Orange, you name it, man. One of the my favorite actors. He's definitely up there if you ask me. But I think he played a good Loomis. Like, that's one thing about this movie too. They didn't really copy off the original. There is a few scenes in here, a few kills, a few scenes, like I said, that they do remake. For example, the Linda's boyfriend, the death scene, when they're in the Myers house or whatever, and scenes like that, of course, there was a few scenes that obviously were in the original, and they made it, Rob Zombie made it he remade it. Um, but of course, there's different things. Like I said, they tweak around. Um, one major thing about one of the major difference in this movie is the whole backstory, the whole you know storyline to Michael Myers, which is probably to me one of the main reasons I kind of disliked this movie. I don't think it was necessary. Like I said, they gave us like the backstory of he kind of made it wanted he wanted us to know why Michael um started killing, why he became this freaking why he became what he became. So of course, they kind of showed he came from like an abusive household and stuff like that. So it's not really like, I think that's why the original works really well, because when the original 1978 movie comes on, it really, like, you don't really know much, like it stays a mystery, you know what I mean? And I think that's what really makes the Myers character, it really makes the Myers character, and it makes the original movie more, you could say more authentic, more grounded, for sure. And once you get into the backstory, it's like about the first hour, the first 30 to an hour, is the whole backstory. The kid, I forget his name, but the kid who played young Michael in this movie, he did pretty good. Like I said, it was one of those roles that wasn't necessary, but he definitely made it like his own. Like he definitely at least was at least the right choice. Like that character, the actor who played young Michael, he has, like, you could say, a memorable face, so it's always gonna stick to you. But like I said, I don't think the whole backstory, you know, was necessary in this movie, for sure, man. But I mean, like I said, back to the good side. Like I said, I think they weren't even they weren't too off from the Myers character. Like, of course, this was a remake, but I'm glad they kind of they stayed with the original look of Myers. Of course, he looks more the mask. It's more aged and stuff like that. You got the scars, but even like I said, the look is there. The classic look is there. It's just, of course, this is more of a more taller, more bigger Michael Myers. And like I said, Tyler Mane, I think he did a good job. He did a good job taking the role. Like I said, even the young kid who played Myers, man, who played young Michael Myers in the movie, he did pretty good. He did a solid job. The other cast, of course, we got Scout Taylor Compton, who plays Laurie Strode. She did pretty decent in the beginning. I don't think she was the perfect choice. I think they could have gotten someone a little bit more, you could say, convincing. But I mean, hey, man, I've grown to love Scout Taylor Compton in these movies. Well, at least in the first one, because in the second one, she's literally like screaming throughout the whole movie. So but she's great, though. She's great. Scout Taylor Compton, I think she did a good role. Of course, we have Danielle Harris making her return, man, making her return to the Halloween franchise. It was pretty clever by them. I know Rob Zombie, he made that choice himself of bringing, because Rob Zombie was a fan of the franchise. Let's get that. Of course, he was a fan. He's been a horror fan. He was a fan of the franchise, so he that was like a little fan treat, you could say. Because of course, him as a fan of the Halloween franchise, he would have loved to see Daniel Harris, return in some kind of way. Of course, Daniel Harris is a big part of the Halloween franchise. As Jamie Lloyd. So by him, that was kind of clever. By him bringing back Daniel Harris to play Annie Brackett was pretty cool. It was a pretty decent role. And then of course we have, I forget her name. I think it was Christina Klebb. There we go, Christina Klebb, who plays Linda. Like I said, they were solid roles, if you ask me. We got Brad Dourif in this, which I think he's another one of my favorite roles in this movie. Like I said, Malcolm McDowell's role and Brad Dourif's role as Sheriff Brackett were probably the main standouts performance to me personally. You know, it was just like their how do you say it, their what's that word I'm looking for, their what do you call it? You know, when people have good chemistry, good chemistry. There we go. They have like good chemistry. They're like the performances, their characters. They're like more like they're you pay more attention, you know, than let's say the other characters in the movie. You know. But yeah, so the cast was good. I thought the cast was good. Um, it was decent. Like I said, you could say some memorable faces. Like some of these casts really kind of, you could say, they they've grown on people, you know. I think Rob Zombie, you know, by him putting his circle in this movie, like for example, we got Sherry Moon Zombie in this, of course, as Myers' mother, Deborah Myers. She did a good role as well, man. She did a good role as well. Like I said, the whole backstory, you know, the whole family thing, didn't really care for. You know, it's kind of like their family was like this fucked up life. They were like and then they had like the drunk stepfather in there, you know, abusing Michael and stuff like that. That whole part didn't really care for. I mean, they could have at least used some of that. That was cool. Like I said, I think as a for a build up story, it's good. It's entertaining. You know, like I said, it adds to that build up to the story. But when it comes to a Halloween movie, at least I don't think they need to do that. You know, explore the backstory, because like I said, it takes away the suspense. You could say the what made, like I said, what made us love the original Halloween movies. But like I said, as a grounded movie, like more of a, you know, story, like a good storyline, you could say, it worked. It's entertaining. You know, like I said, it's definitely a rewatch. This one and Halloween 2 are really rewatchable for me. Like I said, I just rewatched it about a week or two. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be rewatching it tonight, but hey man, 16 years since it's been out. I don't recall this movie coming out. Uh, I don't recall this movie coming out. Of course, it was back in 2007. Um, I really don't like even Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I don't really recall them when they came out in the theaters. So I'm not sure like how it how, you know, how the releases were, if they were, you know, if they had an impact. Well, I mean, the first one, like I said, it did pretty good. You could say at the time the reviews were like I said, it's always 50-50 with this, you know. You can ask any of the fans, probably at the time they didn't really care for it, you know. um like I said in the beginning, I didn't care about this movie. I thought it was a crappy movie, you know. But of course, once we got later films, uh, and you know those later films were probably crappier, it kind of made us as the fans appreciate the Rob Zombie movies even more, you know. But yeah, like I said, I think it's that connection. Since of course I grew up in this time, you know, in this era of horror. Um, you know, I was still a kid growing up, getting into horror when these movies were released. So just by them being attached, you know, you could say to my childhood growing up, I will always appreciate them for sure. Even the second one. The second one is worst. It's a dumb story, but it's always a guilty pleasure. This one, I wouldn't say it's a guilty pleasure because, like I said, there's a few. I think this one was a better, at least a better Halloween movie. You know, you could you could say there's some weird shit in this movie, but Halloween 2 has even more weirder shit. But we're talking about the first 2007 remake. It's good, and I think I like how they Rob Zombie and them did they made it look like the fall. Um, it's funny. The other day I was watching. That's pretty cool, man. Also, I recommend you guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I recommend you guys go check out on YouTube. It's like this 4 hour documentary. I think it's on the DVD. I'm not sure. Uh, I'm not sure, but there's like a 4 hour documentary, man. On it's like a whole breakdown of how this movie was made. Awesome shit, man. I haven't finished watching it. I've seen it before, but a very long time ago, and I recently started rewatching it. I think like I'm like an hour and a half in, so yeah, definitely recommend checking that out, man, on YouTube. But yeah, man, it's a amazing breakdown. I wish they would do that for more movies, you know. So that was pretty great, man. They documented from the beginning, from the very beginning. Rob Zombie got the green light to do the remake, do this movie. Um, him and his team, they documented all that, and it's a great watch, man. So I definitely recommend. It's great seeing how you know movies are made. It gives you different perspectives of behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, man, go check that out. Behind the scenes of Rob Zombie's Halloween. Good shit, man. Good shit. Like I said, it's its own thing. I consider it its own thing. Um, so it's always appreciated by me, man, for sure. Chase the GTA. What's up, dude? Shout out to you guys, man, who are on the live chat. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Porn star, what up, man? What's up? Glad you guys made it, man. I know some of you guys are definitely you guys are fans of Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like I said, it's definitely once the years have gone on, people grow up to love this movie. They grow up to love this movie because it's definitely, oh, you could say a good modern version of Halloween. Did we need a remake? No. I think the timing, you could say, was off. You could probably say that's why people at the time when it came out didn't care for it. They thought it was a bad movie. Um, but because at the time you could say it was too soon for a remake. But you gotta remember, man, in the mid 2000s, that was like the whole little decade, the little era of the remakes. We were getting remakes back to back. Some of them were pretty bad. Some of them were pretty good, and this one was definitely, they definitely had to, they were definitely trying to cash in, so they had to remake the one of the most iconic franchises of all time, Halloween. You know, um, Hell yeah, they had to cash in. Like I said, the 2000s was like, since it worked really well with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a lot of people were trying to cash in. Grab, franchises and remake them. Kind of the same thing what they're doing. When 2018 Halloween 2018 came out, it worked really well for them. So that's why all the franchises right now want to do the same thing. Because so in the 2000s, this was like the trend. It was like the thing to do. The next thing to do with your franchise was remake it. Like I said, some good ones, some bad ones. This one was definitely in the loop. And like I said, it's definitely not it's not in my top list, but it's definitely not the worst one from that time. But hell yeah, man. One of my favorite. Yeah, man, that's dope. Yeah, I've actually seen people. I know, like I said, a lot of people are fans of this movie. I seen people's lists, like different perspectives, different opinions on YouTube. Some people, I've seen people like this one more than the original. And hey, man, if that's your if that's your choice, man, hey, that's dope. Definitely, it's great. It's great knowing. But yeah, man, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people have this very top on their list. And I could see why. But I'm kind of glad Rob Zombie picked. At the end of the day, like we mentioned earlier, Rob Zombie probably might have not been the right director for a Halloween movie, but I'm glad he got it instead of, the, what was it, Platinum Dooms, Michael Bay, when they were remaking every franchise back then, the Texas remake, what else, the Friday remake, Nightmare remake. I'm glad they didn't do Halloween, man, because I think they would have fucked it up right there, man. I mean, look at what they did. I mean, some of the remakes were pretty good, but look. I don't think it would have worked. I don't think they would have been able to pull off Halloween, So yeah, at least Rob Zombie did us a favor, by that. Uh, Hell yeah, man! I hate that they let Daniel Harris as Annie died in Rob Zombie 2009. Yeah, man. I mean, she was close to dying in this one. Uh, I remember I was expecting for her to die, the first time I saw this movie. And actually, as a matter of fact, guys, I remember watching, as a kid, I remember watching the second one first. Before I saw this remake, I saw Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Um, it's funny because I remember, like I said, I watched Halloween 2 first, and then when I finally got the DVD, I watched I watched the remake, and of course we have the backstory. We have uh, Judith Judith Myers in the beginning of the movie. I always thought that was Scout Taylor Compton, her character. I was really confused as a kid, because of course, in the end of the second one, she didn't really die. I mean, she did get shot, but then she ends up in a mental hospital. It's a weird ass movie, but yeah, I remember always as a kid, my very first time watching this movie, um, I remember thinking Judith Myers was Scout Taylor Compton's character, which, like I said, made it more confusing, especially since I watched the second one first. But yeah, like I said, they're all right remakes, man. I give them a pass, Like I said, if it was if it was like 10 years ago, I probably would have told you, nah, the Rob Zombie movies is they're trash, But like I said, we've grown to love these movies, and it's great, man. Like I said, these Rob Zombie movies are actually rewatchable for me, And as weird as Halloween 2 is, it's rewatchable as hell, man. Uh, I can't wait to watch the unrated cut. Interesting enough, the Joseph. I'm glad you reminded me, man. So of course, this movie has like the unrated director's cut, and then we have the original theatrical cut. So the first time I saw this movie, I bought it on DVD. It wasn't this one. The one I originally bought, I no longer have. It got scratched, or I ended up throwing it away, because it got bad condition. It was scratched. But the original DVD I owned of this movie was the theatrical cut. The poster was different. You had like more pictures in the front here, but that's the original theatrical cut. That's the one I recall. Growing up watching the theatrical cut, which was the one major scene in the movie was in the original theatrical cut. We have two different escape scenes, which the original theatrical release one, it was the security guards, they were like escorting Myers down the hallway or whatever, and then Myers just breaks loose. He breaks the chains and everything, the shackles, and he kills the shit out of all the securities. There's like 5 of them with guns, with like shotguns and stuff like that, like extorting them down the hallway. And Michael kills the shit out of the security guards, which I think was the better escape scene, because the unrated cut, we have two of the security guards, two of the guards that work at the Smith's Grove Sanitarium. Two of them, they bring like a broad in there. They bring a chick, inside Michael's room. And then they start raping her, which I thought was always stupid, man. So yeah, just for that simple scene, just based on just that unnecessary scene, I never really liked the unrated director's cut. So I recommend you guys sticking to the theatrical cut. You know, because yeah, you know, there was just unnecessary stuff like, you know, the rape scene, like, which was unnecessary because there's a rape going on, and then Michael kills the guards, and then Michael walks out like it's nothing. You know, the original theatrical you know, it was more badass, even though it was kind of like, you know, like how the hell Myers could like take on all of them, you know, but it was still badass seeing Michael just kill the shit out of him. So hey man, I'm gonna have to go with the theatrical cut, you know. I always see this DVD. I never seen the theatrical cut on DVD after, man, because like I said, I bought that one. The original one I owned was the theatrical cut, which I bought like probably like 2010, 2011, early, you know, when the movie was recent, you know. And then yeah, but I never saw that one again, man. So later on I ended up getting the unrated director's cut. But hell yeah, man. Definitely tell me what you guys think about the Rob Zombie Halloween, man. Like I said, I thought it was a solid remake, at least, you know. I like Unstable Freak. I like Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. It's more brutal and violent. Hell yeah, man. Like I said, Rob Zombie definitely did a good job on that, bringing up the ante on the violence. It's definitely a way more, even though some of the other previous films weren't, like, this franchise isn't as violent. Now it is, but back then it wasn't a franchise as violent, like, let's say, as Friday the 13th, you know. But of course now it is, you know, of course with the new ones. But this was definitely the very first Halloween movie that was pretty brutal, right, if I'm not mistaken, because the other ones from the original series didn't really, like I said, they kind of focus, you could say, more on storyline, more on you know, they focus more on other stuff than gore and blood. And since that's Rob Zombie style, of course his Halloween movie is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be a bloodbath of all that shit. So like I said, it might not be the Halloween style, but I mean, Rob Zombies gave us something different, man, by giving us an intimidating Myers, more of a violent Myers. And like I said, man, it gave, you could say, the new generation at the time, it gave the new generation like their version of the Michael Myers. Chippy, what's up, dude? Glad you made it on here, man. Just here chopping it up, man, talking about the remake. 16 years, man. 16 years, baby. It's been 16 years since that movie came out. Like I said, I don't recall. At that time, I was still a kid. I was getting into horror, but I don't recall, man. I really don't recall when these movies came out, you know. But yeah, man, it's still like I said, it's still, you could say, a movie that had an impact, at least, you know, because hey, like I said, it's one of those that it's grown on people throughout the years, and it's definitely one that people will like go back, always rewatch, revisit, you know. Time does fly, Chippy. It really does. Tell me about it, man. Definitely tried to cash in after seeing Friday the 13th remake. Yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, all of the around that time, all of the remakes that were coming out, since it worked with, I think Texas Chainsaw was the first remake, right? Or actually, you know what? It was The Ring. Even though The Ring, what was that? 2002, right? The first Ring, not the original, the first American Ring, which is considered the American remake. It worked for that. It worked for The Ring really good, even The Grudge. So maybe I think it started there. Maybe it started there, man. Since they were able to successfully grab a movie from another country, you know, from Japanese. Um, they were able to do an American version successfully, man. So um, I think that's where it started, man. If I'm not mistaken, because I was gonna say, I know Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the first one from Platinum Dooms, I think you guys could correct me, but it was the first successful one, at least 2003. So after that, we got remakes back to back, and like I said, you know how the studios roll, man. They definitely weren't trying to miss any dollars. Man. They were definitely trying to cash in with an iconic title, man, an iconic franchise, But hell yeah, man. Yeah, that was the mid 2000s to, you could even say, from the, like I said, early 2000s probably to like the early 2010s, man. Yeah, like a whole decade. Um, it was the remake craze. Nowadays the trend now is direct sequels, the Rico thing. Hey, man, they're definitely trying to find the sauce. They're trying to find the recipe for success. Hell yeah. Mary Braven, hope you're having a good night too, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Halloween 4. Yeah, man. Halloween 4 is great. Definitely the scariest Michael we've seen. Yeah, and I think that was the point, man. I think that was the point of Rob Zombie. Like I said, nothing like the Myers character, the way he went about it, not the same Myers from the original. So the comparison, we can't even compare them. Like I said, I consider them its own thing. Um, if Rob Zombie was trying to kind of duplicate and try to do like the same position, it would just be like a cardboard copy, and we would obviously be comparing it back to back. But since it's its own thing, of course, more of a big Myers, more of a Jason. Um, and that was their approach, for them to make them more scary, more intimidating, and all that, and it worked, dude. It worked. I mean, as a kid, I'm like, damn, that's pretty intimidating. Pretty definitely. You could say one of the earlier, violent, you could say more gory films I've seen, man. The for sure. I think that's true. That's very true. I think Rob Zombie was my introduction to the gory ass horror films. For sure. Mary Braven, I recommend it. I recommend watching Halloween 4, man. It's definitely one of the best sequels. Yeah, porn star. Yeah, I've seen people like that. Actually, we never talked personally, but like I said, whenever I have the time, I'm always on YouTube checking out reviews, checking out other people's stuff. Checking out people's content. And I've seen that all over, man. I've seen that people do like this movie more than the original. And like I said, it's understandable. I get it. I know the original, it stands the test of time for sure. You watch that today, it still feels it's effective. You still feel you just still feel the original movie. How what of a great classic movie it is. But since you could say that was the original, you could say it was a little bit more slow paced. Like there's more going on in this for sure. Like from the abusive dad, the freaking Michael getting bullied, from the strip, the stripping mother, and all this shit that Rob Zombie added. There's more going on, so the movie moves on a little bit more. It's more of entertaining, you know. Like there's more going on. So yeah, like I said, I get it. I get why people would like this more than the original, So hell yeah, man. That's dope. If you guys like this more than the original, that's dope, man. That's great. It's always great to see different tastes in different opinions. Um, I think Rob Zombie would make a good Texas Chainsaw movie. Yeah, man. Like I said, if he would have done Leatherface, a Texas Chainsaw remake, it would have been more. It would have been more. More his style. It's more fitting for him. But I could probably see because the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a movie that actually inspired his movie House of a Thousand Corpses. So since the Texas Chainsaw is his style, I could see why he wouldn't do it. Like I'm not sure. Has he ever said he would do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I'm not sure. But if he were to say he wouldn't do it, I get it. I get it because I see him wanting to take on a bigger challenge than what he's comfortable in. Like he's comfortable. His style is House of a Thousand Corpses, the goriness, you know the more violent films, you know. So it would have been a little bit more easier for him to pull off a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. So by him taking on Halloween, you could say even though those elements are there, his Rob Zombie elements are here, it was more challenging, especially for a classic movie like John Carpenter's Halloween. Yeah, for sure, it was a challenge for sure. And like I said, I'm glad he did his own thing. He did his own thing rather than copy off of what Carpenter did with the original classic. I'm pretty sure John Carpenter, man, gave him the green light. He gave him the green light to, pretty much do whatever he would want. I believe he's still not a fan of the movie. I could be mistaken, but yeah, I have seen John Carpenter kind of despise the movie. And of course, man, like I said in the beginning, it's like, come on, man, like, why would you remake one of the greatest horror films of all time? But like I said, once years go on, once decades go on, we get shittier later installments. So some of those crappy movies from some of those early, crappier movies like this, and stuff like that, we kind of, like I said, start appreciating them more. So yeah, and I think that's the case, man. I think that's the case with Rob Zombie's Halloween. So yeah, man, I'm always gonna be 50-50 with this movie. Goods and positives, you know what I mean? But yeah, I agree though. Unstable Freak, Blumhouse behind the. Yeah, Chippy. Yeah, I saw that. I actually saw that today on their Instagram. They announced more of the mazes. Can't wait, dude. Yeah, man, I can't wait. 20 more days. I believe it's gonna open in 20 more days, man. I think it opens September 20th. Yeah, Chippy. Yeah, for sure. He would have nailed it. I think if he would have done a remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he would have done a great job. Because like I said, that's his style. Even though, of course, we had the remake that we got by Platinum Dooms. Of course, it wasn't necessary no more. And of course, at that time, he had House of a Thousand Corpses. So hell yeah, man. I would love to see. I would still love to see. It would be better since the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies have gone downhill. Since they're like, dude, like since the last films have been garbage after garbage, I would rather see Rob Zombie take on a movie right now. Even though, like I said, it might not be his taste. It might not be his thing to do. Especially now. But yeah, I would love to see him return, man. I would love to see him take on even now. Come on, man. I think he has the ability to pick it up, man. To pick up the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. But hey, man, that's a good debate there. That's a good conversation. Hell yeah. Because some scenes I can't even watch. Some scenes I can't even watch, but I seen some scenes that has Daniel Harris. Yeah, Joseph. Like I tell you, stick to the theatrical cut. Like I said, in the unrated version, had a unnecessary bullshit rape scene that made no sense. Like I said, it was unnecessary. It was stupid. Michael walks out like nothing. So yeah, man. I prefer the theatrical cut for Rob Zombie's Halloween, man. Like I said, there's a few other differences, but that's one of the major ones, man. Is the escape scene. I think the original theatrical cut was better, man. So yeah, definitely stick to that one, man. You're not missing out on nothing. Trust me, you're not missing out on nothing. Justice for Danny Trejo death. Yeah, man, Danny Trejo. That's one thing too, man. Like I said, I admire, I like about Rob Zombie. All his films from the beginning, House of a Thousand Corpses, even till his latest films like 31, not 31, the Three from Hell. Like his movies involve the same his inner circle of friends, and that's what I think makes his style more like he has. Don't get me wrong, he has some. I wouldn't say not the greatest films, but he has some good films that I actually do like. And it's always great to see a director do that. Keep on doing stuff, man, with his inner circle, and of course, Danny Trejo is in that circle. He was in House of a Thousand Corpses, I think. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I know he was in Devil's Rejects for sure, man. So yeah, and he brought him back. He brought him back for the Halloween remake, which is it's great, dude. It shows you how great of a director Rob Zombie is. Uh, Definitely an artist, man. I mean, come on, his art. He does music. He does the movies. That's like a double threat. So hey, man, that's an artist for sure. But yeah, Chippy, yeah, dude, yeah, I remember seeing that as a kid. Like, damn, that was fucked up. I thought he was gonna let him slide, but of course not, man. He had to escape. But yeah, man, that was pretty. It was pretty cool. It kind of gave the audience, like I said, and it goes back to what I was telling you about the cast. They're like a nice, you could say, vulnerable, easy going cast. So it touches the audience. It makes you feel for them, and I think Rob Zombie did a good job with the consistency. The cast did a great job on bringing their performance to life. And making it relatable. Make it. That was the point of the remake, making it a more grounded, more modern version of it. You know, make it feel like it's something that could happen in your neighborhood. And I think that's the point with these modern remakes, man. Even though, like I said, some of them are not necessary, some of them come out too soon. um like I said, I thought this was kind of too soon. That's why in the beginning it wasn't received as right. But hell yeah, man, I agree, though. I agree. I was still a kid in 2007. I did not watch it. But now I can watch it. Yeah, man. I was a kid as well, but I don't recall it. I don't like recall seeing TV spots. I don't recall seeing posters. Like I said, I was still a kid, even though at that time I was already getting into horror. But yeah, man, I don't recall it. I don't even recall Halloween 2. I just recall getting the bootleg like right after Halloween 2 was released. But so yeah, and that's when I watched Halloween 2 before this one. So yeah, man, just imagine that, watching Halloween 2 before you saw the first remake. Hey, man, that's crazy. Love kicking it with y'all. Same here, man. Yeah, love kicking it with you guys here, man. Like I said, today's the 16th anniversary of Halloween 2007. Time flies, man. Time flies. I mean, I remember the only movie I watched in 2007 was Spider-Man 3, man, as a kid. So I'm pretty sure it came around the same time. Usually that the Spider-Man movie comes out early in the year, and this was an August 31st release, so it was not too far, man. So yeah, man, for sure. Lil Ray Wright. What's up, Lil Ray Wright? That's dope, man. Yeah. Pretty good film, man. Pretty solid film. Like I said, I have my issues, my negatives, my positives. Like I said, cast positive, performances were solid. Michael Myers was solid. Negatives, the backstory, the unrated, some unnecessary ass scenes. Don't get me wrong, even in the original theatrical cut, it has some unnecessary scenes, you know, and you could say some unnecessary dialogue, but that's how, you know, Rob Zombie. That's how Rob Zombie rolls, man. That's his style. Like I said, that's how he rolls, you know. Um, Hell yeah. Chucky trailer came out today. Really, it came out trippy. The you talking about the season 3, right? I've not seen it. Have not seen it, man. Did not spark my interest. Uh, Same, man. Honestly, I'm not really caring for it. Like I said, I didn't care for season 2. Um, I still haven't watched it either. But hey, man, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'll probably tune in first few episodes. But yeah, I gotta catch up though. I gotta catch up with that damn season 2. I know we had Glenn come back and all this shit. I don't even know, man. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the new series. But hey, man, we'll see what's up. I watched H2O before watching the original. Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, I think my very first Halloween movie was for sure. I think it was the original. It was either the original or H4. And then after that, it was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And then the remake. And yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, porn star. That's pretty much what the case is, man. Yeah, they're grabbing these titles, these licenses, these, you know, franchises, um, trying to use the name, man, to grab a buck. You know, like I know Don Mancini. He's still a part of the Chucky franchise since the beginning. It's his franchise, so he's not really, you know. Of course, he he's trying to make it more watchable for younger audiences, you know, which, like I said, it's all good, but I feel like he should still have that space available for the mature audiences, to have those audiences, those fans return to, you know, this franchise who originally grew up loving. Like I said, Chucky, the original, is my favorite, you know. Chucky at the White. Yeah, dude. I didn't see the trailer yet, but I saw like the posters. I saw like I think they're the teaser posters. It says Chucky, like the promotion. They're starting to promote it now, since we're getting close to October. He's like going for office. He's running for office, going for president. All this dumb shit. Hey, man, what the hell have we have come to? That's crazy. I get it, but hey, man, it's not my cup of tea. You know. I'm gonna have to check it out though, Chippy. After the live stream, I'm gonna check it out because I have not seen it. I have not seen it. Like I said, even if it was released, if you guys, if it was released and I didn't know it was released, I probably wouldn't check it out for a few days, man. Just I'll probably check it out whenever I have time, you know. But it's not one thing. It's not one of those things I'm gonna look up. Honestly, I'm being honest right now. I'm pretty sure, like on YouTube, the recommendations it'll pop out for sure. If I have time, I'll click on it. But it's like I said, it's not one thing I'm gonna look up. You know, personally, guys, you know, like I said, it just went downhill, dude. Honestly, it's fun. You could say it's entertaining. I take that back. It's not fun, but it's at least entertaining. At least the first season, because that's all I seen. It's entertaining to see Chucky go through all this shit, but hey, man, I think they got to a point where you can't really take that bullshit serious, man. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, we'll see what happens. I mean, I hope it's better. I hope it's better than season 2. But hey, man, I really don't think it will be. Nick Push's Horror Channel. What's up, dude? Glad you made it on here, man. 16th anniversary of Rob Zombie's Halloween. Hey, man, time flies. Like I said, I remember being 2007. I don't recall the movie coming out, but I recall the year 2007. you know. So and it doesn't feel like a long time at all, man. So hey, man, my respects to Rob Zombie, man. Brave enough to carry on this thing, man. Like I said, many people wouldn't even dare to touch an iconic property like this. Blumhouse should be ashamed of themselves, man. What they have come to, you know. I give them my credit for, you know, because the 2018 film was solid. It's decent, you know. So I give them that. Even kills, fuck it. I'll give them that. But hey, man, what kind of way to end the series, dude? You know. But yeah, man. I noticed the trailer came out on TikTok. Damn, Chippy, that's yeah. I don't really use TikTok. Like I said, I think it's gonna come out on my recommendations or something. You know. I enjoyed both season, but ending was okay. Yeah, yeah. I have not seen. I saw the first, probably the first or the second, the first two episodes of season 2. That's it. And then I seen the whole first season. But Curtis Smith, what's up, man? Glad you made it to the live stream, man. Hope you're doing pretty good, man. Halloween again. Yeah, man, we're talking about it again. Rob Zombie's Halloween is no stranger, man. As much as people might dislike this movie, as much as we have issues with this movie, stuff we don't care about it, it's definitely no stranger to the channel, man, because we're always chopping it up. We're always discussing Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like I said, that's how much I feel it has grown on people. It has you could say stand the test of time, you know. Even though, like I said, it's not even that old. It's still kind of a recent movie, 2007. It's not even 20 years old yet. But give it 10 more years, man. I think people will still... This movie will still be a memorable one for a lot of people, man. So, hey, man. Like I said, this movie, you could say, was a little bit ahead of its time. A little too early. But, hey, man, Rob Zombie did his thing. And we can't do nothing but salute him. Because that's what it is, man. My brain is still at 2020. Hey, Chippy, I be feeling like that sometimes too, dude. Like damn, I like to think it's still it's barely 2020, you know? That's what I like to think, you know? I don't even count. I don't even count these 3 years we've had. You know, I just like to say we're in 2020, you know? I will always hate Halloweens too, Rob Zombie. I get it, Chippy. I get it. I hated it too. But like I said, it's definitely a guilty pleasure. I don't know what the hell I like about it, man. You know, every time I watch that weird-ass movie, we have white horses and all this shit. All this weird shit. More Rob... And from what I heard Halloween 2, since of course this freaking remake, it's rare. It's kind of rare when Halloween or when horror remakes get sequels, because most of them are shit. I mean, tell me how many. There's a few sequels to remakes, but it's never been a thing. Like, it's never been, like, people haven't been continuing it. Probably now with the whole Rico thing, now they have trilogies going on. But with these remakes, they never continued off with a sequel or even like a little trilogy, a little franchise. You know, and as much as some of these films were actually successful at the box office, they were successful enough for sequels. So it was kind of rare for this movie to be a hit and be able to make a sequel. Like I said, there's a few remake sequels around that time as well. We have what's it called? Not Wrong Turn. Is it Wrong Turn? No. The Hills Have Eyes. The Hills Have Eyes 2, the remake. I think it came out like 2006. It might be a shitty film, but I don't think when it comes to the remake sequels, I don't think they haven't been able to pass that second film. You know, probably like I said, now they're doing trilogies. They're able to pull off a whole freaking trilogy, but I think that's where they're having issues, man. Because like I said, it's not easy to pull off these things, and that probably explains the whole why the third film is always the weakest. But yeah, when it comes to these horror remakes, the sequels, they never went past a second film. Um, like I said, we got a sequel to, we got Halloween 2 for the remake. We got Hills Have Ice 2. We also have the prequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. So yeah, some films did get sequels. Some of those remakes did get sequels. Um, like I said, at that time it was successful enough for them to pull off Halloween 2, man. And like I said, back to what I was trying to say. Um, from what I heard, Rob Zombie never wanted to make a sequel, but since this film was damn successful, since the money was there, the studio kind of pushed him to do it, and he pretty much had a different vision for Halloween 2, but since the studio, that's what happens, man, every time, especially when you get into a sequel and the studio's trying to build a franchise, they put their 2 cents in there and they mess with the director's vision. So I don't really blame Rob Zombie for how shitty H2 was, because that could have, like I said, all that weird shit. Like I said, that movie's Rob Zombie styled the hell up too. But I don't know. I just think it was more weird shit in part 2, and I could see how, the studio. I think it was Dimension Films was like, you know, demanding shit, or like I said, putting their fingerprints in it, trying to intervene with his vision, and like I said, sometimes and especially on a not on a budget, on a time limit. Like I said, man, the remakes were back to back here. They weren't trying to waste any time, any money. So they were trying to, I could see the studio like kind of rushing to Halloween 2, so they could kind of catch on that buzz from this movie. But hey, man, like I said, H2 is a guilty pleasure. I have no idea why I like all that shit, but hey, man, it is what it is. I get it. Yeah, man. So yeah, Curtis Smith. I brought out the Rob Zombie mask. This is the Fun World, and then we have the clown mask. I'll give you guys a closer look. Pretty dope, man. Like I said, 16 years since Rob Zombie's Halloween. Had to bring it out, man. Had to bring it out. Like I said, I might rewatch it. I'm not sure though, because I recently rewatched it. But I think I might. Like I said, I was watching this 4-hour documentary about the making of this movie. Hey, man, I think that documentary is better than the movie itself. But yeah, man, this thing about this at Party City, man. I remember being so excited because I've always wanted a Rob Zombie mask. And then one time, man, I walk into Party City and they have that. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get it. Not the greatest. The hair's like about to fall off. But hey, man, this is what I've been having. That's what I've been having all this time, man. And I can't wait for for Trick or Treat Studios to drop those masks, man. They need to hurry up. From what I heard they're gonna be shipping them out from October. I'm not mistaken. I contacted this on Instagram. This is like a collector's row. I have their card here. I do. Yes, look. Shout out collector's row. You guys trying to pick up some masks, some collectibles, Trick or Treat Studio stuff, NECA stuff, anything horror, man. Check out collector's row. Check out this shop, man. Follow them on Instagram and check out their website. This is where I bought my Halloween Ends mask on Collector's Row. But yeah, I saw that their shop, their business, have just got some boxes from shipment, and because they posted it, and I believe they got like a badge of Halloween Kills masks, and I asked them, if they received the Rob Zombie masks, and they told me that they're gonna be shipped out till October. So hey man, can't wait. I really can't wait. Curtis Smith, I'm excited, dude. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm definitely gonna go. I'm definitely gonna be going to Horror Nights. Can't wait, man. They didn't do a sequel. Yeah, exactly, man. I know they did a prequel. They did a prequel, Texas Chainsaw: The Beginning, which a lot of people didn't like. I liked it. I don't know. Personally, I liked it, but yeah, man. Yeah, exactly, Chippy. And I could see why Halloween 2. I could see why Halloween 2 probably might have been a little bit more challenging for Rob Zombie because I mean, I'm pretty sure he was barely able to do the first one. You know, I'm pretty sure it was hard as hell for him to get this movie on, to get this movie going. You know, so imagine, and like I said, on a time limit. Hey, man, it's really not. You know, it's not. I don't think Halloween 2 was the fully vision, was the full movie that Rob Zombie intended. You know, I don't think it was. I feel like it was a rushed movie. It was a rushed movie just for them to cash in on the buzz of the remake craze of this movie. You know, they try to, and that's what they do all the time, man. They rush the sequel in so they could get that box office money, and hey, man, we're left with the shitty movie. But it is what it is. Like I said, some of the Texas Chainsaw prequel I thought was good. I don't know. I don't know why people don't like it. Um, what other sequels? We have not the Wrong Turn. I keep saying, why do I keep saying Wrong Turn? Wrong Turn only had a remake. Wrong Turn has like a shit ton of sequels, and then it has like one remake. Um, The Hills Have Eyes. I don't know why the hell I'm confusing that. The Hills Have Eyes 2. I like the first remake. I thought that was a good remake. Actually made it to my top 10 best remakes, you know. But the second one I thought didn't. I thought it was kind of shit, you know. But yeah, man, and same thing with that one, man. Those movies, the Hills Have Eyes remakes, they're brutal movies. They're gory films, and like I said, it all comes from this era. The 2000s era is the era of the torture porn, the goriest of the gory. You know, we had Rob Zombie's film, which Rob Zombie had contribution, I will say. He might have not been the main one, but he's for sure one of them. He definitely had a contribution to the whole, you know, you could say torture porn, the whole hardcore goreness to horror movies in the 2000s. Because before the 2000s, we didn't really have much. I mean, it was still before that, it was still the 90s. So they weren't really focusing on too much gore back then. Kind of, they were focusing more on substance, on story. But once the 2000s came along, that was like the new trend, you know. And every day they try to make people are trying to make their movies the goriest, you know. But like I said, Rob Zombie, I think, is definitely one of the contribution one of the contributors to the whole, you know, goreness in the 2000s, man, with his Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. Another one I'll give the title to, that I feel which I think had more of a contribution, was James Wan, man, with Saw. Saw was a impact. It was an impact. It blew the genre. You could say the genre was going downhill again, but then when Saw came, man, it gave us something we never seen, and with those Saw movies, we ended up getting all this torture porn shit, all this goreness. Like I said, at one point, like for example, House of a Thousand Corpses was good. Uh, 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 Devil's Rejects was good. Some of the violence in the Rob Zombie Halloween movies were pretty good. But once you know, once it got, eventually it got to the whole torture porn, you know, where it's like in the late 2000s. Like if you take a look at all those Saw sequels, like that. They just start giving a fuck, and they did whatever, try to make it the goriest out of the goriest, which is make fill their freaking movies with bloodbath of goreness, which some movies are still like that. For example, I'll give you one that just came to mind. Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise was a good film. I liked it. The pacing, the story was good, the characters were good, the gore was good, but it was a little too much for an Evil Dead movie. But it worked. It worked, But but hell yeah, man, that's what it is. But for sure, dude. Funny how John Carpenter also. Yeah, that's very true, Chippy. That's very true. Halloween. He had different plans for the Halloween franchise. He had different plans. That's why he killed off. He killed off Michael Myers in Halloween 2. By him exploding, getting on fire in the hospital, and that's when we got Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, which was completely different. But since people wanted to see Myers, still, they had to continue. They had to keep the ball rolling. They have to keep the ball rolling, so the big bucks could come in. So that's that, man. That's that. But yeah, he had different plans for the whole series. The Halloween series, each movie, each sequel was supposed to be a different story. Of course, the original 78 was so successful, man. A low budget horror film that was so successful. Hey, man, they had to make a sequel. A lot of these classics were never intended for a sequel. Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven never wanted to make a sequel. Since it was so damn successful, man, the freaking studio came out with a sequel a year later. So hey, man, that explains it all. And usually, the directors never return for the sequel. Exorcist, Heretic, it's a different director. Nightmare Part 2, different director. I'm not sure about Friday. I know Sean S. Cunningham was involved, like, in all of them, but yeah, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, man, it's interesting. Damn, Chippy, really? They still haven't brought it? Probably now, man. Probably in the next few weeks, since it's September, since August is over. Probably, man. You'll probably end up finding it, man. Definitely hope you do, man. Definitely keep checking, man. Keep checking. Yeah, they do need to hurry up, man. Come out with those damn masks. I need them now. I need them now. You know. I did also like the prequel. Yeah, man, the prequel was good. The Texas prequel was good, Universal Monsters Unmasked. Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah. I'm always fascinated. I'm always intrigued with the classic Universal Monsters, man. Pretty cool that they're gonna be at Horror Nights. That's dope, Barry Braven. That's dope. Yeah, I have a Halloween blanket as well. Actually, I got this. You guys seen it? I think you guys seen it. Um, it's like what's the brand or what's the company? Creepy Company. Shout out Creepy Company. Go to creepycompany.com. Shout out to them, man. Get yourself a blanket, man. This was a present. This was a present by my sister. Shout out to my sister. It's pretty dope, man. It's like a VHS cover. It's like a VHS cover, which makes it dope. Oops, I have it the other way. Yeah, man, that's my blanket. So yeah, man, that's pretty dope, man. That's pretty dope. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman maze. Hey, man, that'll be dope. In 5 months, I'll be 29. Congratulations, man. Mary Braven. That's dope. Awesome duo. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. If you ask me, they're top league. They're in top place when it comes to horror movies, man. They have a lot of classics behind their back. Hey, man. They're definitely up there when it comes to these modern movies. We have, the Saw movies. We have even some underrated gems like Dead Silence. If you guys have not seen Dead Silence, look it up right now. Go check out that movie, man. That's James Wan and Lee Wano as well, man. Lee Wano. And of course, they came out with, I think they did The Conjuring too, right? And Insidious. Hell yeah, man. You can't deny that. They're definitely top tier for me when it comes to these modern movies. And they're still doing hits, man. Shit. At least James Wan. I'm not sure if Lee Wano was involved with their latest hit, Megan. But James Wan, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, Chippy, that's very true. Yeah, Saw. Saw was another. I probably might make a video, man. Like the top five most profitable movies, the most profitable horror movies, man. Because there's a few that come to mind that are like low budget films that were a fucking hit. They were a hit. Saw is one. Like I said, Saw to me is the most influential horror film in the 2000s, man. Take a look at all the movies that came out after Saw, and you'll see it for yourself there, man. So hell yeah, man. Like I said, a simple idea for by them being original, something simple, low budget, could turn into this. Like a lot of these classics in the 80s, and they don't do that no more, man. They really don't do that. They rather just grab some classic property, some classic stuff, and fuck it up, and make a buck out of the freaking name. But hell yeah, man. Saw probably a series that's like up and down. It has shitty sequels, but the consistency is there. I mean, even with the new Saw X, we're having characters return. Um, Today was announced Mark Hoffman is officially returning in Saw X. We all kind of were suspicion he was, but it's been confirmed, man. I think he posted it on his Instagram. The actor Mark Hoffman, he's returning in the new Saw movie. So that's dope, man. Like I said, I hope Saw X is the one. I hope Saw X is the one, man. Have a good night, Mary Braven. Appreciate you tuning in. Taking the time. Haven't seen Evil Dead merch for Horror Nights. Hope they do some. Hey, that'll be dope. I'll probably buy some, Chippy. I'll probably get some, man, because, hey, that's dope. Ronald Dixon. I just got my new mask. That's dope, man. What mask did you get? That'll be dope, man. We'd like to hear which one you got. No way he's returning. Chippy, I believe he is, man. I saw someone post it on Instagram. I think the actor posted it on his Instagram. Definitely peep that out, man. But yeah, I think he posted like a picture of himself with like the Billy puppet. That's dope, dude. Mary Braven, my condolences. I'm sorry for your loss. Sorry to hear that. My condolences, man. Must be hard. My condolences. Hope, I know it ain't easy, but you got this, girl. Michael Myers. Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. Definitely can't go wrong with the Myers mask. Hope you got a good one. Hope you got one of the, more classic looking Myers masks. So I hope you, even the new ones, even the new Blumhouse ones. I hope you hope you got them, man. Like I said, you can never go wrong with a Myers mask, no matter which one it is. If it was the Halloween 5, which I don't think so, but if it was the Halloween 5, I'll be like, come on, step your game up. But I doubt it. I doubt it. If it was the Resurrection up, I'll be like, come on, get your stuff together, man. But nah, I'm just playing. Machete slasher calls Ghost as man. What was in the trailer? Is that the actor? Is that the actor of Hoffman Machete Slasher? I know in the trailer they kind of teased. There's like a few, you could say, teasers to Hoffman. That's why a lot of us were kind of predicting that he was returning, but I guess it was finally official today. He looks different, yeah, Chippy. Hey, man, I mean, it's been the last Saw movie. He was in the It was in the 3D one, right? That's the last movie he was on. Hey, man, the the years fly, bruh. Time flies. I remember being 2010, like not too long ago. I remember when Saw 3D came out. I was dying. I wanted to see that, even though I was a kid, and it was a rated R movie. I never got the chance to see it, but hell yeah, man. And of course, as a kid, I know 3D is garbage. Let's face it. Personally, 3D is garbage. I don't like 3D. I think there's certain movies that it works with, but most of the time it doesn't. But as a kid, 3D, oh shit, that's cool. That's super dope. I was so excited, man. I wanted to see Saw 3D just because it was 3D. I remember TV spots. I remember all this shit. If it was the CGI one, hey man, I know they try to do that, like try to like do CGI on people. Like for example, in Halloween Kills, the flashback scene, the 1978 flashback scene. They like I know they grabbed a Donald Pleasance lookalike to play Dr. Loomis for the flashback, but they even added CGI, man, to add, you could say, those Donald Pleasance features or whatever. But hey, man, I don't. Sometimes I don't think it's necessary, especially on people, on stuff like that. I think CGI should be done on stuff that CGI only works when you can do something. You can do something. How do you say it? When CGI works well when you can do something prosthetically, like you can do something physically. Unstable Freak, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Tobin Bell's last movie. Like I said, time does fly, man. And yeah, a lot of at one point, man, people gotta at one point the Saw series is gonna have to make a change, change direction, and start into doing something new, man. But hey, I'm glad they're giving them a chance. We're getting the chance for them to add their final touches to this Saw series. Like I said, the Saw franchise might be garbage. Some of the series are garbage. Some of the movies are trash. But it's a series that, like I said, with Saw X, it's the ball is still rolling. We don't have. I know they have a spin-off, but they're not messing. They're not fucking up the timeline. That's one thing I do respect about the Saw series. The timeline is consistent. It's a nice build-up, and that's why I've always liked the Saw movies. So hell yeah, man! I can't wait for the new one, Saw X. We lost our grandma in December. Like I said, Mary Braven, definitely hope you feel better. Just keep your head up. And my condolences, man. Rest in peace. I love your channel. Thank you, Ronald Dixon. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you guys, man, tuning in, man. Definitely had to go live, man. 16th anniversary of Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. I'm sure we all love this movie, man. I take that back. I know some of you guys probably love this movie. I like it. I don't like it as much as I love it. You know, I don't think it gets to that love point, but I it's acceptable. I like the movie, you know? But funny how Bell looks the same. And yeah, hey man, Tobin Bell, I know he's kind of had to look the same, you know, for the past you know, the Saw series has been going on for the past 10, 15 years. And yeah, I mean, Tobin Bell's got it. He still got it, you know? He really hasn't changed much. But yeah, dude, I saw that. I saw that. The picture where he's holding the Billy doll. I did honestly, dude. I didn't even recognize him. I didn't even recognize him. Like I said, I didn't see it from his page directly because I don't think I follow him. But another page reposted it, you know, and I'm like, damn, that's dope. But yeah, dude, I did not recognize him though. Have you watched Cabin in the Woods Monsters? I've seen a few of the Cabin in the Wood movies. Not the biggest fan of them, but I think I seen the main one. I think it was like 2012 Cabin in the Woods movie. But yeah, not my you know personal favorite you know genre in the horror genre. You know, are you going to be on tomorrow, Richard? I mean, I apologize, Ronald. Ronald. I'm not sure. Probably what's tomorrow? Friday. I'm not sure. I can't really tell you. I usually go live um randomly, man, you know, but since today I knew it was the 16th anniversary to the remake, I set up the live stream. I know for the past few days it's been the anniversary to a lot of these horror movies, and you know, since we're getting close to the Halloween season, for the next, you know, few days, for the next couple weeks, months, we're gonna have a lot of anniversaries, man, of a lot of horror movies that were released. So yeah, I mean, if tomorrow is an anniversary, if I find out it's an anniversary of a movie tomorrow, I'll probably go live, man. We'll revisit it. This is one thing I'm trying to do. You could say something new on the channel. On the and this is like my third one, my second or third revisit video. So pretty much, man, on the anniversary of certain movies, I'm gonna go live and we're gonna discuss the movie, revisit it, just like I'm doing with this. I did a Your Next one like a week ago. Revisited the Your Next video or the Your Next movie, and hell yeah, man. So definitely stay tuned. I might go live if I see it's there's an anniversary tomorrow. I might do it. But definitely stay tuned, man. Stay all of you guys stay tuned, man, because I go live randomly. But hey, man, I don't know. I know I won't even speak on it, but shout out to all of you guys who tuned in today, man. Like I said, wanted to revisit Halloween 2007 remake. Solid remake. It's grown up. It's grown on all of us. And yeah, man. I mean, that's gonna be pretty much it. That's gonna be pretty much it. I had a fun time with you guys. 88 minutes. My phone's about to die. But yeah, man. Shout out to all of you guys who tuned in. Like I said, I might go live tomorrow if I find there's an anniversary tomorrow. I might go live, and we'll revisit the movie. It's fun doing these revisit live streams because you know, we just, and like I said, even though we're always talking about this movie, like in the live streams and stuff, we're always talking. It was still fun. It was still fun today, man. Like I said, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Hey, man, my respects. It's grown on me for sure. So yeah, man. Shout out to all of you guys who tuned in. Curtis Smith, Pornstar JR, Joseph the Horror Guy, Mary Braven, Chippy, Terrach, Unstable Freak. Shout out to all of you guys, man. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Hope you guys stay safe out there. Stay tuned for more videos. It's the Michael Myers signing out.